I think I'm going to then go to the next project. It's called mundo.om. Mundo is a Spanish word which actually means the world. And Om, as we know, is a reverberation of the universal sound. And, in the Latin American countries and in the Native Americans, I have personally experienced, the commonalities of culture from the Mayan and the Inca civilizations and how their traditions, some of their rituals are so similar to ones that we practice in Sanatan Dharma, some of our worship of nature, etc. So, there's a very easy gravitation for these people towards, our Sanatan Dharma, towards art of living. I think some people are commenting on art of living in the comment box. So those kind of, uh, projects, a lot of temples that exist around the world. Mundo Om, is a project that is working hard to revive some of those temples, provide the opportunity for various sampradayas to come together, gurus and other guru shishya paramparas that exist across the world to have a base somewhere, wherever, in the world, especially in Latin American countries. So without further ado, I call the team of Mundo Om to present their project to everybody. I think this will be very interesting and new for everybody. Thank you so much.
Samidha from UK, very much dharmically aligned, and I thank VSI to having given us this opportunity to speak through Mundo Om. Mundo Om, Sanatan Leadership Movement in Latin America. I'm going to start by talking about Mundo Om with a small Sanskrit sloka, but very impactful. Uddhimeni siddhyante कार्याणि न मनोरथे न हि सुपतस्य सिंहस्य praveshyanti mukhe mriga, which means we can accomplish any task by making strenuous and continuous efforts towards it, not merely by wishing to do so. By no means the deers come themselves and enter into the mouth of a lion. Likewise, if we want the world to know about Sanatan Dharma and be more peaceful and inclusive, humane society, we need to make efforts to do so. Let's be the change we want the world to see, and that's why we've conceptualized and started Mundo Om. Namaste and welcome to Mundo Om, the global initiative to create a just society through Sanatan values. We are starting from Latin America and we want to establish and reclaim the Hindu temples there. Mundo Om, Sanatan leadership movement in South America. I'm going to start talking about Mundo Om with a small Sanskrit sloka. उद्यमेनि सिद्ध्यन्ते कार्याणि न मनोरथे न हि सुपतस्य सिंहस्य प्रवेशन्ति मुखे मृगा. Well, we can accomplish any task by merely making continuous and strenuous efforts and not just wishing to do so. By no means a deer comes into the mouth of a sleeping lion. Likewise, we want the world to come to Sanatan Dharma and know more about it, become a more peaceful and inclusive, humane society. And then we need to make efforts towards it and not just wish to do so. Namaste. I welcome you to this world of Mundo Om with this thought. A global initiative to create a just society through Sanatan values. We are starting from Latin America and establish and reclaiming the Hindu temples there. These temples will be the centers of Renaissance and serve as education and business hubs, empowering the local ecosystem, collaborating with the regional political leaders to socialize, and just values of Sanatan Dharma will be promoted. And finally, this we'll have a youth which will serve as an ambassador and centers uh, to evolve the Sanatan leaderships of tomorrow, which brings us to the strategic objectives. Having seen on your screens, you can see that we have zeroed down on a few strategic objectives on the basis of our learning and communication, conversations, weekly meetups with other sampradayas which are existing in South America. After several discussions and having seen efforts in multiple directions from these sampradayas, we have learned that we need to approach this initiative in an organized manner to create the synergy around it under one umbrella, in an enterprise manner to make it socially, economically, and politically a symbiotic ecosystem. The primary impact of Mundo Om is to create an overarching social culture and a culturist organization that will revive and connect all Hindu temples and develop a globally powerful societal change. This organization will act as a guiding framework for the temple revival and rejuvenation. We want to create a powerhouses rather in each one of them, and we'll have these strategic objectives cascaded down into three major objectives, which would be regional focus, capturing the youth, and then maybe getting into a revenue generation mode. World over, Hindu temples are led by different sampradayas and work in isolation, thereby restricting the scale of operations which can otherwise be undertaken. Mundo Om will harmonize the efforts of these different gurus, and while providing each one of them full autonomy to their temples and ashrams. These will become the representative voices to further the Sanatan cause by engaging stakeholders in political as well as business domains. Further, we will create an ecosystem in which prominent Hindu festivals will be organized globally in the form of very organized events which are connected. These will attract and educate the current and new practitioners of Sanatan Dharma worldwide. Also, we want to tap the global diaspora, political leadership, and the businesses to run the joint funding drive of these causes. Of course, some of these initiatives would need creating a sphere of Sanatan influence by funding chairs for index studies in institutions of repute, and also establish scholarships of dharmic courses. You know, and why am I saying so? This is only because we want to inculcate this culture, this dharmic inclination in the youth, in the young minds, which will help develop relationships with the local population and evangelize Sanatan adoption through different sampradaya. Community activities such as health checkups, food drives will be established on such war footings. I would now like to bring your attention to our overall achievements or our overall ambition, which is to create a platform in South America which would enable all gurus and sampradaya to come and launch their activities in South America. There might be many which are already existent, but we all know Sanatan Dharma is big and beyond a few sampradaya. So we want all aspects of Sanatan Dharma to be propagated in South America. This calls for unification and leveraging the existing Hindu temples. Um, Coming back, if we see towards the bottom of this arrow, we are trying to reverse engineer here from our bigger goal to how to in a piecemeal way achieve these short-term goals. I will now like to take you through our achievements that we've made in 2021, which is we've we've had young professionals actually joining hands with us already, performing Bharatnatyam and bhajans. What you see in front of you is a roadmap of Q1 2021. We've already we've already set up our website and our social media platforms. We have a small ambition of actually bringing together all the gurus by Chaitra Navratri onto one platform which are existent in South America. We also have people from South America who've started migrating to India to connect with Indic roots. We have been able to start generating funds to develop our website as well as social media platforms. As a part of our Vision 2022 and Vision 2023, we wish to actually include setting up online learning sessions. Then also we would like to teach them yoga through Hindu lenses, mathematics through books such as Bhaskaracharya's Leelavati, lessons on Gita, Vedic scriptures. Our temples will also be developed to propagate and popularize our culture through martial arts, uh, form forms like Karyapattu. We would also develop exchange programs for young dharmic scholars to invite culture, values, and thereby ensuring that they become the ambassador of our culture as they take leadership positions in their lives in future. We would also create economic model to invite spiritual tourists to visit and experience temples in Latin America and get an opportunity to connect and experience the civilization. In 2023, we will focus on developing gaushalas in every temple, having vegetarian restaurants, global exchange programs, and platforms like TEDx. Having said that, that connects with our overall ambition of having a synergy and a platform for all sampradaya and gurus to actually come and practice Sanatan Dharma in various forms within South America region. Now, now coming so far, I would like to ask you, can you guess how many celebrities have actually, or rather, name a few celebrities who've actually come to India in search of peace and spirituality? Any guesses? Well, yes. You there? Steve Jobs, Julia Roberts, Mark Zuckerberg, and so on. In this world of chaos, my friends, where there's pandemic, war, and so much of hatred, leading to fear, rage, loneliness, and stress amongst people, there is a cosmic calling for Vasudev Kutumbakam, which means we This Vasudev Kutumbakam will lead and elevate mankind and establish a pluralist state where each one is accountable and free to practice their own. Having said that, I'd also like to take you through our connections, and media platforms. We've joined hands with gurus and somanis as we discussed. We've been having weekly cadence and virtual meetups with them. We've also had seed funding secured for social media influencers. In terms of our media touch points, we've launched mundo.om website, social media handles on Facebook, Twitter, YouTube. Social events are being planned. We are also working on an introductory video, which would give people a view of what we actually want to do and what we can actually do. Having said that, I would also like to bring you to this fact of funding. Um, we all know that any initiative needs some economic resources. So, having done simple mathematics, we came to know that the number of temples in South America are approximately 300. We are targeting somewhat around 30 temples to be revived, and which would, uh, having done some estimates around the pujaris and the salaries, the staff support, temple maintenance, and festive celebrations, and cleanliness, gaushalas, and everything. Having said that, we have come to know that each temple would take an annual expense of somewhat around $10,000, which brings us to $30,000 annually. Uh, Now this is the fund that we are actually looking to raise, and we have a cause which might go beyond our lifetime, but we know that we'll get there and we'll make it happen. Namaskar. I would like to thank VSI for having given us this platform to speak about our initiative, Mundo Om, convey our idea to the larger population. And if you think that we are in the right direction, if you've got more ideas, and if you wish to join hands with us, please feel free to reach out. Namaskar.
Thank you so much, Samidha. This is really interesting, and not based in India, so something very different also. So there are 300 temples, and you're reviving 30. Is it a target for this year? You're on mute. You need to unmute yourself.
Okay, sorry. Well, that's the target for this year, and yeah, you're right. If you're able to achieve this, it's going to be more exciting. It'll push a lot of people to join our initiative, and that's what we're looking for. Yeah.
Okay, great. And I think some people are saying that we should. I think some of the questions are about. I know there were lots of questions. How many temples are there? You've already answered that, and
Mhm.
some people want to come on the. I think you can write questions on the comment section. That's all that you can do at this time, and we will take them. But where is the place for us to connect with you? Do you have a website, or is it just Mundo, your Yahoo account, right?
Yeah, that's the best place to connect with us right now. We are working on the website actually. We had to pull it back for some upgrades that we wanted to do. So we should be. I think if they reach out to our mail IDs on Yahoo, that's the best one to go right now.
Thank you. Great, great initiative. And I think my favorite part there is setting up academic chairs.
Indeed. Yeah.
That's my favorite part. I think we really, really lag behind there. So good luck with that. And I will be in touch with you.
Thank you. Thank you so much.
All right. Thank you
Namaste,
so much.
Samidha.
All the best. Oh,
Um,
Namaste.
Thank you so much for that brilliant presentation. Missionary Hinduism, that has been a dream for me. So you're actually realizing it. There's a question from
Yeah.
Sanatani first. Is a very genuine fellow who's been following us regularly. What do you
Mhm.
mean by revived temples? He's asking.
Reviving temples here is initially there were temples which were established, but over a period of time, because probably the gurus uh, are not present there, or the shishyas are not so motivated. They have their own interest to carry out activities, and then the entire intent of establishing the temple is diluted. So that's why we said we want to come onto a platform to just bring everyone under one umbrella, so that there is we can bring that motivation and that intention back when they actually also there are some temples which have stopped the activities, the pujas, the daily artis, which attract the youth mostly.
So these are
So
the temples which are already established but stopped due to some reasons in
indeed,
Latin America.
in Latin America, yeah.
Wow, that's so we've already built some infrastructure there. Thank you so
Yeah,
much, Samidha. Thank you so much for your active participation. I think
uh,
we have been sitting around for like 2.5 hours now.
Yes.
People have to go around with their weekends, Sunday mornings. Thank you, everybody, for joining us. Next weekend, we will be again back with some new projects which we have to support. We have to give them traction and bring awareness. So these are some of the projects we are bringing next weekend. Uh, Over
And
to you,
very
Richa.
important project. Yeah. Do you want me to enumerate them?
Please do that. Please, please.
So I think one of them is the Hindu genocide. Omiji's favorite thing that he's been mentioning, documentation. Then also there's a social media platform by Hemant Patel, Nimitekam Canada, which is a chapter of Nimitekam, and also we have I think one more project. I think I'm missing here, Sri Lanka. I think
The
the
Sri
work,
Lankan project, yes.
the Sri Lankan project.
Hindus in Sri
So
Lanka, the condition of Hindus in Sri Lanka. It's
yes.
very
So
important.
very important because so many are fleeing and coming to India and taking refuge
Unfortunately,
there.
these Hindus were left out in the CAA because the CAA covered only the Islamic countries, Afghanistan, Pakistan, and Bangladesh.
Hmm.
But the condition of Hindus in Sri Lanka is also quite pathetic, and we need to support them. So
Yes,
next week we will listen to their tragedy and their fights and their conflicts, and we'll try to help them. Some very good, very important work being done in Sri Lanka.
I think we're on the dot at 9:30 p.m. in US, my time, Colorado. So, Miji, namaste, namaste to everybody, and we will see you next week with some more interesting projects. And I'm sure you're going to enjoy both Saturday and Sunday. We have a great lineup. And I want to make just one last appeal. Like I said, Dana is the operative word for today, and I want to make sure that everybody thinks about it. Thinks about, okay, maybe this month you donate. Every month put aside some money. Like there is a tradition, there used to be a tradition in our dharma also, but also in other cultures it still exists, where they give 2 to 5%, some even 10% of their income every month. And we are not even saying that's how you want to start, but maybe small amounts, just whatever you think, just put that aside and say you're donating to the causes, and we will provide a common platform, and we will handpick projects for you. So and present them like this annually. So if you can, you know January, February donations, if they come through, I think what we got last year was about 100,000 plus for all the projects. We hope we can meet or exceed that this year for all the projects that we are presenting. Thank you so much, and namaskaram.